क्या आप भी किसी अपने सपने मेरे तुम्हारे टीम 11 पे टीम बना रहे हो और बच्चों के साथ खेल रहे हो? हमारे साथ खेलोगे? हाउस पे खेलो लेजेंड्स के साथ, हमें हराओ और जीतो डबल कैश. Log on to houseit.com and win real cash.
Hello and welcome to this very special interview with somebody who has just, his team has scripted history, and he obviously was the man who has lost some nails, got some more gray hair, maybe added a couple more gray hair everywhere. I mean, in his chin, I can see some. But to get a double hundred on debut, I mean, incredible. We know he got a man of the match against India in the under 19, but did you believe as the coach on the start of day 5 that West Indies can do this?
Yeah, the talk we had the morning, we had no chats the afternoon before. When we come out, we just wanted to make sure that we didn't lose too many wickets. And the chat we had this morning is when we get to lunch, if we have no wickets down or one more wicket, then we are in the game. When we get to tea and we had no wickets down, then we are controlling the game. And to get 128, 29 in the last session with 30 overs, we were in control of the game at all times. I must say I didn't expect him to get a double hundred. I thought Bonner would have gotten 100, which he deserved, as he batted extremely well too. And then Blackwood to come, you know that he could turn it on at any time. So we were always in charge of the game as long as we didn't lose early wickets in the morning.
Phil, you have been involved with West Indies cricket as a player, as a coach for a long time. Is this one of the best ever innings you have seen in the history of West Indies cricket?
Yeah, it would have to be up there with a lot of the great innings I've seen. I haven't played. I remember Gordon Greenwich at Lord's as one of the best innings I've seen to win a test match on the final day in 1984. But this is absolutely incredible for him to do that on debut and to just continue batting until we got the game sewn up. Incredible.
When he came in for tea, at lunch and subsequently tea, what was your advice to him as coach? What was the talk like?
Lunch, it was the same as the morning. We need to just bat 3-4 runs and over, which wasn't hard to get because the pitch was still a good pitch. And then at tea time, we will see where we are and we'll know exactly what we need to get in the final session. And at tea time, we knew exactly what we needed to get, which was approximately 4 runs and over for 30 overs. And that's how we assisted. That's how we broke it down as the day went on.
And what was the celebration like at the end of the game? What did you tell Kyle Myers? What happened in the dressing room? Give me a sense.
The celebration was joyous, but a little bit low key because we know that it's not the series and we still have a test match to go. But we had to celebrate something like that in a way as a team. So we just went back to our team room. We had a few drinks together. Chats, a few claps, a few acknowledgements of the feat that had happened in that day, and we let each other know that this is not what we came here for. We didn't come here to win one test match and be praised for winning one test match. We came here to try and win a test series, and we still have a test match to go. So it's all up for grabs in the second test match.
Phil, if this fellow was Indian, by now 10 IPL teams, 25 brands, everybody would have queued up. And I tweeted that yesterday, that had he been Indian. But frankly, this has become the news point even in India. Your thoughts? I mean, how? Because clearly, and I was checking his record, he's done enough to merit, international recognition now.
Yeah, he's done it, as you say, at all levels. He did it at under 19. You remember it against India. He's done it in our 4-day competition, and he got into the one-day team. He played the one days in here in this store. Got a start, but didn't go on. But this time he took it all away. He went on, and he was disappointed, extremely disappointed when he got out in the first inning. So you can see it in his eyes that he wanted to make amends in the second inning. And I'm glad we got the chance for him to do that.
To beat Bangladesh in Bangladesh is a difficult task. I mean, every team finds it difficult because they'll obviously take home advantage. But for a debutant to get 200, I mean, I keep coming back to that, Phil. But explain that innings to me, because you've mentored this guy, you've spoken to this guy, he's with you. Just give me a sense of the whole drama, because this is why we play sport. It gives us hope. If this guy can get 210, I can fight COVID. It's like that. Sort of, it gives us hope everywhere in the world. So
Uh,
just tell me a little bit more about this innings.
no, but the thing about him is that he's just calm. He just wants to go out and bat. He is not worried about too much things. He doesn't think too much about too many things. He likes to bat. He likes to score runs, and that's all that he was thinking about going into that day. That I want to bat for the day. This is my opportunity to bat for a day, and to score a big 100. At the start, he wasn't thinking about winning the game. At least that's what we were trying to nullify. If you start thinking about winning the game from the morning, then we're going to lose it. So we just thought about batting and session by session and see how we go in the last session, and that's what he took into the game. That's how he looked at it during the day.
He have gotten an opportunity earlier, Phil, because he's not very young anymore.
No, the last couple of years he's done well at 4-day level. So especially the previous 4-day tournament, he did very well. So he's got his chance now, and the Lord works in mysterious ways. He's got his chance because more or less, I think, with so many guys missing from the test squad, he's gotten a chance to come here. He didn't know that he would be starting, but he's got that chance, and as I said, he's grabbed it with all four hands. So I am so proud of him for taking the opportunity and making the best of it.
And world cricket is richer if there's a good West Indies team, because West Indies is such a strong powerhouse for world cricket that we would want. I mean, when West Indies beat England at home was a big statement, but then performances have been inconsistent. I mean, is
Yeah.
that your main challenge, to make it far more consistent from here on?
That's a challenge, and it's a huge challenge because we keep doing it and then falling back. We're taking two steps forward and one step back, and we're trying to make sure that when we take that two steps forward now, we stand there and we look to take another step forward instead of going back. So there's a lot of things to be put in place. There's a lot of things to teach, because we have a lot of youngsters coming into the team, and we have to teach how to play at test level, and it seems to be working because we had two debutants in New Zealand in the final test who look like they belong in test cricket, and now we have three here who, one goes on to score a double, one helped him in one of the biggest partnerships we've had for a long time. So we're getting there, and I agree with you. We need a strong West Indies team in world cricket, test team.
In all formats, actually. I mean, when I take a look at that Abu Dhabi T10 and I see West Indians right through, whether it's Lendl Simmons, whether it's, Rovman Paul, I mean, you just take a look, Evan Lewis, everywhere it's Fidel Edwards,
Yeah.
it's West Indians dominating franchise tournaments across the world. But when it comes to the team, ICC competitions, test competitions, West Indies is not the West Indies that we knew. Is that what Phil Simmons will have to do now?
Well, that's what we are trying to do. We seem to be able to do it in the last three T20 World Cups. We've done it twice, where we come together as a team and won two trophies. But we need to do it more consistently. We need to do it throughout the year, throughout the 2 years in between T20 World Cups, throughout the 4 years in between ODI, 50 over World Cups, and consistently in Test cricket from series to series. So this is the biggest challenge right now in the getting the consistency right in all three formats.
You've got the World Cup later this year, Phil, in India. We will have you in India for that. And again, I mean, that is one World Cup where perhaps West Indies will justly claim they're one of the favorites, given the kind of talent you have for white ball franchise cricket. You must be one of the favorites going into the tournament.
Well, I would expect that we would be, and we would gladly take that on board. We are defending champions, so we are going to come as defending champions and look to defend and retain our trophy. So we're not hiding the fact that we're going to come very seriously to retain our trophy.
But is Test cricket as much a priority for you?
It is. It is definitely, because our Test cricket has been too much in the doldrums for too long. So our Test cricket needs to be back up high and climbing the table. So Test cricket is a huge priority for us in West Indies in CWI.
In fact, from when I look at Kemar Roach, I look at Shannon Gabriel, I look at Jason Holder, I look at that lineup, there is some serious talent. And I'm glad that Roach and these guys have decided to prioritize Test cricket because it's good for the game. Good teams playing at the top level is ultimately important for world cricket. That's where legacies are made.
Yeah. Exactly, and if you're playing two formats and you're not playing the other format, sometimes you will have a legacy. But the major legacies, the Kohlis, the Tendulkars, the Lara didn't play much any T20 cricket, but they played all three formats. So it is a case that that legacy is huge. It's something. It's a huge footstep for any Indian player to follow in, and now that Virat is following it, then who's following after Virat? So you have to be part of the Test match format, and I think that we're getting young players now who want to play more Test cricket. They want to play the other two formats, but they want to play Test cricket with a little more passion than we've had.
Last few questions, Phil. Last few questions. One, was there at any point in time, did you all discuss the Indian win in Australia, that it can be done? If India can do it in Australia, so can we?
Well, you have to bring it up. You have to look at it because it's the last time that something has happened which can influence or give you the spirit to go and do something else, because it was a huge win for India, and we had to mention it. So it was mentioned, and I don't know if guys went back to their rooms the fourth day and looked at it or read about it again, but it was mentioned a couple of times.
The reason I asked you this is because if I take a look at that Indian side and your side, so many youngsters, people making their debut, coming at the, sort of into international cricket, the platform is theirs and then they become heroes. So there are many similarities.
Yeah, they are, and as with I was looking at a little bit of the test this evening there, and Shubman Gill is continuing where he left off, and continue where he left off in the last test they played. So I'm looking to see that my players can follow them and continue where they've left off in this last test match, in the second test match.
Phil, give me one story about Kyle Myers, something we don't know. What is this guy? Because the whole world's talking about him. Give me something that we need to celebrate this fellow. Give me something.
He's just a quiet guy. He just wants to play cricket. He wants to bat. He's trying to get his bowling back up to standard, because he's a very good medium pace bowler who can help us in the future. So he's trying to get that back up to standard. And other than that, he just wants to bat. He just wants to play cricket. He just loves cricket, loves playing cricket, and loves batting most of all. So yeah, and I tell you, there's not many in Test cricket now, at least, that hits the ball harder than he does. So he's there for a while. He's there to stay now.
Fabulous. I'll let you go, but I must say this. I mean, you have always been, a dear friend. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person in a better world, COVID-controlled world in India. We've done much better now. Bangladesh is doing decently well. Vaccines are working. So hopefully the T20 World Cup will obviously happen with some fans. From the second test in India against England, we are having fans back. So sooner than later, you and I will meet. And maybe at that point in time, we'll have some more stories about Kyle Myers and the rest of the boys. And of course, Phil Simmons.
Yes,
Phil, for my museum, public, sort of request. I need a signed jersey by all of you guys, because this has been one memorable test match for the museum. So that is one request, if you can get me one.
I'll definitely try to get you one. I will see what is being done. I'll try to get you one.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thanks for your time. Wish you all the best.
No problem.
Look forward to seeing you soon, and all the best for the second test.
Thank you very much, bro. It's good to be with you.
Thank you so much. Bye.